I'm Big Will Levinson, and it's time to talk sports. What an opening weekend we had to the high school basketball season at the annual Warrior Challenge at Central High School. 9 total teams went to battle, and after 12 total games of action, why don't we have a little fun and rank all the teams who played at the Warrior Challenge? And we begin with number 9, the Rifle Bears. And well, after winning just one game last season, the Bears have struggled again thus far this season. Rifle fell by 61 to Glenwood Springs early last week. And then the Bears went 0-3 at the Warrior Challenge, losing all games by an average of over 42 points per game. Those Bears will look to right the ship on Wednesday when they take on Roaring Fork. And coming in at number 8, the Summit Tigers. They only played 2 games at the Warrior Challenge, losing both to 2 Grand Valley teams, Grand Junction and Central. And Summit lost, both putting up just 27 and 35 points in each of those 2 games this weekend. The only team to play just a single game is number 7, and that's the Basalt Longhorns. Basalt was only here on Saturday when they put up a fight against the Palisade Bulldogs. The Longhorns fell just short against Palisade, losing by 3 and giving the Bulldogs their first win of the year. And speaking of the Bulldogs, they come in at number 6 on our list. Palisade hung tough in game 1 against Moffat County before a blowout loss to a really good Castle View team. You see a buzzer beater they hit there in the game against Moffat County. And the key for the Bulldogs, though, was finishing strong and getting a much-needed win over Basalt, 69-66 on Saturday. And now we enter the top 5 and teams that had a winning record at the Warrior Challenge. The first of those teams is the Grand Junction Tigers. And boy, things started fast for GJ. They had no trouble with Rifle, dominating 70-23, but they struggled a bit offensively in their next 2. They only scored 37 points against Summit, but it was all about their defense in that game, allowing just 27 points. And on Saturday, they played tough against a really talented and big Castle View team, but they fell by double digits in that one. But overall, a very solid start to the season for Grand Junction. At number 4, our wonderful hosts for the Warrior Challenge, the Central Warriors. And this Central team plays with some swag and moxie, and in their first 2 games, they matched the energy of their hometown crowd, dominating Summit in game 1 and thrashing Rifle in game 2. But in their final game Saturday, it was a heartbreaker at home as they fell short to Moffat County, who sits at number 3 on this list. And it was Saturday's big win over those Warriors that puts Moffat County right here at number 3. And the Bulldogs had a really good tournament, playing 3 Grand Valley teams and taking down 2 of them. And they were in control throughout the last 3 quarters against Palisade and made the key plays late in a true road game against Central. Their one loss was to Fruita. And we will get to those Wildcats. But first at number 2 is Castle View. The lone team with the Warrior Challenge from the Front Range made the trip across the snowy mountains for good reason. There is no doubt the SaberCats will be a force all year long. They have so much size and versatility across the board. They are a handful every time they step on the court. And so far, only one team has been able to take them down, and that team is number 1, the Fruita Wildcats. And wow, the expectations were sky high entering the year for Fruita, and thus far, the Wildcats have exceeded those. Fruita had their toughest matchup in game 1 against those SaberCats, and they were up for the challenge. And after taking down Castle View, Fruita proceeded to obliterate their next 2 opponents, beating our number 3 team, Moffat County, by 41 points. And then they took on Rifle. And well, not many surprises in how that one went, as Fruita cruised 75-32. A 21-3 record last year for Fruita, and they look just as dangerous this season, as they are the only team to leave the Warrior Challenge without a blemish on their record. What a great weekend of high school basketball it was on the Western Slope, and the great part is we are just getting started. But that's all my time for sports. I'm Big Will Levinson.